Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Morgan. Bid you all welcome back to Gothic 2. I don't know how to make this face go away, so let's save and reload. So, pardon me, I seem to be losing my voice once again for some reason. Last episode, we didn't really do much because there wasn't much left to do, and we have pretty much settled that we must move on to the monastery now. It's really the only recourse we have, other than a handful of things, although I will need to keep an eye on this, because I'm not sure this will still be available once we join the monastery. So if it doesn't, if it's no longer available, then we'll have to make a separate show of taking care of that. But, as we know from talking to Vatras and Darren, the only real way that we can join the monastery is to pay them 1,000 gold in tribute and bring them a sheep. That's a tall order. Darren said that we can get in just by dropping this off, which seems a little ridiculous, but I guess that little statuette has more value than it appears to be. But if you do want to do it the old-fashioned way, which was the only available way in the vanilla Gothic 2, Pepe is who you buy a sheep from. And I don't think I showed it last time. But if Pepe dies for any reason, I guess it's possible that he can die to those young wolves, but I'm pretty sure he could wipe them out himself. If Pepe were to die for any reason, you could actually continue to buy sheep from Onar. That's kind of the fail-safe. But Onar charges twice as much as Pepe does, which is unfortunate. But also, I would be shocked if Onar didn't get pissed off when he learned Pepe's been selling sheep on the cheap.
Can I buy a sheep?
Anytime, if you can pay the price. A sheep will cost you 100 gold pieces. If you pay, you can take a sheep, but you have to treat it well.
Here's 100 gold pieces. Give me a sheep then.
Oh my god, he's
Good.
still making the
Then take
face.
Betsy. You'll find her in the pasture. Just tell her she should follow you. She's pretty smart for a sheep. Treat her well.
So, he said we'll find her in the pasture, but she actually just teleports straight in front of us. I don't know how to stop this face. This was a mistake. I might have to reload the game. Oh no, I didn't even reload in the first place. That's why. Sorry, I'm a bit scrambled. Okay, face is normal. That's the way you're bred. Yeah, I'm a little scrambled. It's been a couple weeks. I meant to get this out, 2 weeks ago, because I try to make these weekly. And then I thought I was going to do it last weekend when I canceled the streams. And instead, I got sick again. Which is weird because I was sick last week. Oh my god, it is... Oh, I thought that was a centipede sheep. Anyway,
Hey, you!
so 100 gold to buy a sheep.
Can I buy a sheep? Here's 100 gold pieces. Give me a sheep then.
Good. Then take Betsy. You'll find her in the pasture. Just tell her she should follow you. She's pretty smart for a sheep. Treat her well.
So, if for whatever reason you
Hey,
happen to lose this sheep... Oh my god, she's sniffing my crotch. If for whatever reason you happen to lose a sheep or it dies, you can continue to buy sheep pretty much to infinity. So somehow, even though he's losing sheep to the wolves, he's able to essentially reproduce them on command. So I don't understand why he's in such a tizzy about Onar losing sheep, considering he has the ability essentially to summon them.
Hello, sheep? Come with me.
So the sheep are very annoying because they are quite slow. Believe it or not, this is not the only time we will ever have to guide a sheep somewhere. So we're obviously not going to go through all that. We know the easier way and the less expensive way. But, like I said, if you continue to buy sheep, or if you have to, you can continue to buy sheep. And actually, Pepe has some amusing dialogue if you were to continue to do so.
Here's 100 gold pieces. Give me a sheep then.
Again? Okay. Take Betsy.
Betsy? But the last sheep was called Betsy.
All the sheep are called Betsy.
Really? Because all their names are sheep. And if you want to, you can basically get an army of Betsy's to follow you. But believe it or not, he has even more dialogue if you continue to buy sheep.
Here's 100 gold pieces. Give me a sheep then.
Again? Okay. Take Betsy.
Betsy, but the last sheep was called Betsy.
All sheep called Betsy.
Here's 100 gold pieces. Give me a sheep then.
Again? Okay. Take Betsy.
Betsy? But the last sheep was called Betsy.
All the sheep are called Betsy, except for the rams, of course.
And what are they called?
Bruce.
Bah!
Well, unfortunately, we can't buy a Bruce. But we can get an army of Betsy's.
Hey, you! Come. Come.
I'm not really sure if you are meant to
Hey.
have more than one Betsy, though, because I notice
Come with.
the dialogue kind of stays the same for all of them. I don't know. Yeah, if you want all these Betsy's, you got a bunch of Betsy's. And I've never tested it. I wonder what happens if you bring more than one sheep to the monastery. I think we should find out. Let's make this an experimental episode. So we got 4 Betsy's. Again, I don't think he'll accept more than one, but let's just see what happens. Now, as we determined last time, we cannot get in without the tribute or without giving him the statuette. So let's try with the tribute.
I want to become a novice.
I see that you have brought the required offering. If you are truly willing, you are now free to become a novice. However, if you make this decision, there is no going back. Consider well if this is your path.
Yes, I want to dedicate my life to the service of Innos.
Then be welcome, brother. I give to you the key to the Monastery Gate. As a sign of your free decision, it is up to you to open the gate and step through. You are now a novice. Wear this robe as a sign that you are now a member of this brotherhood. When you are in the monastery, go to Parlin. He'll see to your needs from now on.
Will my transgressions be forgiven now?
Not yet. Speak to Master Parlin. He will bless you and wash you clean of your sins.
So I never really interpreted that bit where he says, as a sign of your free decision, you must open the door. It just sounds to me like he's too lazy to open the door for you. So we can get in here with our sheeps. And we can bring them to the shepherd.
Hello. You must be the new guy. I'm Opolis. I take care of the sheep around here.
Look here, I brought Betsy. Can I leave her with you?
Yes, of course. Good-looking animal. I'll take good care of her.
Well, I'm getting some serious mud vibes from this dude. Okay, so he only takes a single Betsy. Can we keep approaching him with more Betsy's? Nope. So it's not worth getting more than one Betsy. So let's head back. So it's interesting that if you have a sheep following you, he only accepts the sheep and the 1,000 gold. Although we don't give the 1,000 gold to him, we have to give it. Once we get inside.
That's been known a long time.
So, as long as we don't have a sheep, when we approach with the request to become a novice, we should be able to offer him the valuable statuette. So make sure you keep this handy and don't sell it by accident like I have done on more than one occasion.
That was quite obvious.
Just listen to him talk.
Yes, I'm shortcutting it. Because I don't feel like making that run a second time.
I want to become a novice.
You did not bring the required offering with you.
Hang on, what?
Tell me about life in the monastery.
We live in the monastery and the magician.
Oh. I never gave this back to, I know why. I never gave this back to Darren, so he's never told us to approach the monastery with it. Sorry, folks. I am a bit disheveled today. Or is it disheveled?
agree with you completely.
Whichever it is. Oh, do we have things to give Bosper? No, we did that last episode. We still got the black troll hide. Gotta make sure we don't give that away by accident.
Terrible.
I heard rumors about a statuette you have supposedly lost.
Have you now?
And he works all
You can
day, too.
only have heard that from Vatras, the water
That's
mage.
terrible.
What's the problem?
A very valuable
Really, how
statuette
interesting.
has been sent to the monastery from the
Someone's
mainland,
gotta do the
but
work.
it never arrived at the monastery.
Has the ship been raided?
Anything to
No.
himself.
It got to Corinus,
Now that's
safe
typical.
and sound, and I went to collect it there.
These are bad
Then, when I was on my way to the monastery,
Someone's
a
gotta do
band
the
of
work.
goblins got hold of it. Now, don't you
Someone's
look
gotta
at me
do the
that
work.
way. We magicians are only human too,
And
you
it's gonna
know.
get even worse.
Humans with very powerful magic spells, I would think.
From now on.
Didn't you try to get that statuette
Don't
back?
tell this to anyone.
Of course I did it. I searched for it
And he
high
works
and
all
low,
day, too.
but to no avail.
He simply talks
Where
too
was it
much.
that you lost that statuette?
I was on my
That's not
way
what my husband
to the
thinks.
monastery near Orland's
I won't
Tavern.
tell her a thing from now on. And he works all
Orland's
day, too.
Tavern. Where would that be?
If you
I haven't seen
leave
it
the
with my own
city
eyes.
by this gate here and simply
If I
follow the
hadn't seen it
path,
with my
you
own
will
eyes.
come to a house that stands by
Can't
itself.
take care of everything for
That's
everybody.
Orland's Tavern.
These are
The
bad
Dead
times.
Harpy.
He can't
You
do
said
anything
that
to
the
himself.
goblins have it now?
They stole it and
says
made
things
off
like that.
into the underbrush with it. I never
Really? How
saw them
interesting.
again. They're probably holding up
That's
in
not what
some
my
pit
husband
in the
thinks.
ground.
That's not
I've
what
heard
my
enough.
husband thinks.
I'll find the thing for you.
Oh, we
May
found the thing.
Innos
If I hadn't
guide
seen
you
it with my own
and
eyes.
protect you from the dangers
Really?
that
How
await you
interesting.
outside the city gates.
I don't believe that.
I found your statuette.
Praise be to Innos.
What will you do with it now?
Nothing
Honestly,
at all.
I wouldn't do it myself.
It brought me nothing but bad
Take care of
luck.
everything for everybody.
You'll take it back to the monastery
You
for me,
don't
my
say.
son. Naturally, they won't let you in
That's not what I
unless you
heard.
dedicate the rest of your life to serving the monastery.
Don't tell
But
this to
I'm
me.
sure you won't mind doing that if it means you
I
can
won't
be
tell
of
her a
service
thing
to
from now
me. Right?
Honestly,
Go
I
with
wouldn't do it
Innos, my
myself.
son.
So I gotta be honest.
Don't tell me that.
This whole bit with that bit
That's an open secret.
makes it. It seems to make it pretty clear that the developers understood what a ridiculous chain of events this is to circumvent the usual admission process to the monastery, and it's all very contrived. But I guess somehow this was the most creative thing they could come up with to get around the very high requirements that they had in the original game. Because 1,000 gold, I mean, we have plenty more than that at this point, but 1,000 gold is a tall order for like a first-time player to try and accumulate in order to join the monastery. Then again, the Gothic II manual actually made it clear they don't think first-time players should be becoming a mage, even though it was much easier before the Night of the Raven. As we will see, it's not difficult as a mage in this game. It definitely makes a lot of different things easier, but there are some parts of the game where you are seriously handicapped by being a mage. So it can make things interesting, and you can actually handicap yourself as a mage by trying to spend points in some of the physical attributes. And it worked differently. I have to double check, because I swear I confirmed this, but I always doubt myself because I don't remember anything. I swear in the vanilla game, the learning point cost of like weapon skills and physical attributes was actually double once you became a mage. Even though once you're in there, they actually encourage you to learn how to fight with a staff, which is just learning how to fight with two-handed weapons. But yeah, it's very very bizarre. And in Night of the Raven, it seems like they actually got rid of that handicap. I think they realized like a lot of people do play as a spell sword, as it were. And some people do just like to have magic as an available technique, essentially, to soften up encounters before you go in sword swinging. But that's not what we're going to try to do for this episode, or for this playthrough. Now, on that note, I did make sure that I have a backup save file right here, very clearly marked so I don't overwrite it, to make sure that I can simultaneously do playthroughs as a militiaman and a mercenary, and everything that comes with that. So those will happen as we progress through the game as a mage, or as a novice in this case. So, see what you think of this.
I've got this statuette here. I think they're missing it in the monastery. Can I come in now?
Well, under these truly exceptional circumstances, you are free to become a novice.
Truly exceptional. So exceptional that, I mean, I really don't understand how I couldn't just, like, hand this over to him. He can obviously go in and out of the door. Interestingly, he does not, oh no. I still have to go through the whole talk with him.
I want to become a novice.
Is that really what you wish to do? For you must know that there will be no turning back for you then.
I never really, I guess that's why I never noticed that line of dialogue. I didn't realize it had changed depending on whether you bring the proper tribute or you bring the statuette.
Yes, I want to dedicate my life to the service of Innos.
Then be welcome, brother. I give to you the key to the Monastery Gate. As a sign of your free decision, it is up to you to open the gate and step through. You are now a novice. Wear this robe as a sign that you are now a member of this brotherhood. When you are in the monastery, go to Parlin. He'll see to your needs from now on.
Will my transgressions be forgiven now?
Not yet. Speak to Master Parlin. He will bless you and wash you clean of your sins.
Well, there it is. Sorry, I got a little distracted. So I guess the dialogue was the same and I'm just an idiot. So, some people made some noise about in my old walkthroughs that I always had a bow on while I was playing as a novice and a mage, and how it looks a little silly. Alright, so we'll lock him out. So we have no sheep to give to Opolis this time, but let's take a good gander here. That's a decent monastery. I don't know what makes it so great other than the fact that it's really the only one here. So obviously the centerpiece is the big chapel. There's some chambers off to the left and right. Bunch of people milling about. Not a whole lot of people getting anything done. Wonder why they're so hurting for initiates.
Welcome, you novice. I am Parlin.
I am
a novice. It is not important who you were before. Now you are a servant of Innos. That is all that matters. And with the acceptance into the Brotherhood of Fire, all of your previous transgressions will be forgiven. May Innos bless this man who places his life in his service and wash away his sins.
And now?
First, you will fulfill the duties of a novice. You will work and serve the Brotherhood. You can give your gold to Gorax, our steward. You will find him in the winery. When you have done that, we shall speak about your work here in the monastery.
You really think?
So I want to check that his subtitles there. I wonder if his subtitles were actually updated for the mod, but for some reason the voice line was never re-recorded. But as we're about to see, that's not the only time we're ever going to hear him say, or hear his voice say those words, which is a bit bizarre.
I'm looking for the Eye of Innos.
I don't know who told you about that, but the divine artifact is not accessible to anyone.
Where is the Eye of Innos kept?
The fewer people know this secret, the better it is protected. Seek for it, and you will not find it.
I need to talk to the leader of the Paladins.
Lord Hagen does not receive novices. Only we magicians are permitted to see him.
Tell me about the Eye of Innos.
All right. The Eye of Innos contains a part of the divine power of Innos. Only one chosen servant of Innos is permitted to bear the amulet. It was created to protect us from the powers of evil when the time comes.
So I always wondered, this is another one of those like contrived lore bits where only the chosen one can wear the Eye of Innos, but like,
Why haven't I heard about this?
somebody should know who Innos chose to wear it, because otherwise a bunch of people are going to sit around and just kind of hold this thing and be like, well, somebody out there can wear this thing.
I couldn't care less.
Which means they're probably like our savior, so we should probably figure out who the hell it belongs to. Because, and from the sound of things, nobody else can wear it, so if anyone else were to put it down, presumably they just drop dead or something. So no one's really going to be in a hurry to try and see, hey, maybe I'm the chosen one.
Do you really think?
How can I serve the community?
First, you will fulfill the duties of a novice. You will work and serve the Brotherhood. You can give your gold to Gorax, our steward. You will find him in the winery. When you have done that, we shall speak about your work here in the monastery.
Well, okay then. And I did not know that he actually said that line twice, and that's not what I was referring to earlier. So we will give the tribute to Gorax. It won't be gold, it'll be this statuette.
Can I be of assistance to you?
Here, I've got the statuette that Daron was supposed to bring to the monastery.
It is truly embarrassing that such a valuable piece is brought to us by an aspiring novice. Nevertheless, this confirms your commitment to serve Innos. I'm very obliged to you, young novice.
My pleasure.
I'm looking for a place to sleep.
There's an empty bed right next door. The first on the right, next to the entrance. You can sleep there. You can store your belongings in one of the unused chests. And remember, you have no business entering the sleeping chambers of the magicians. You're also not allowed to enter the library, unless you've been given permission.
What's your task here?
My tasks are many and varied. Not only am I the steward, but I am also the treasurer. Moreover, I supervise the wine cellar, and I'm in control of the monastery's food supplies. So, if there's anything you need, you can always come to me and get it. For a modest contribution, that is.
Modest contribution, in other words,
I need
the MSRP, because he charges the same price for these goods as anybody else. So he's got a couple scrolls, he's got a map, we really don't need. This key is completely useless. I don't know why he has it. He might just have it in the event that, for whatever reason, you lose yours and need to get another one. But, I don't know. I actually don't know. I've never tested to see if doors stay locked if you drop the key. And if you want to, this is essentially the equivalent to the leather belt that we are currently wearing. Which, ours is no longer quite as good as a result. Actually, the armors are almost equivalent. So, yeah, this novice robe is not worth too much. Anyway, let's see about our duties.
There's more, believe me.
How can I serve the community?
Speak to the other magicians. They will give you tasks. I will oversee your work, and when you have fulfilled your duties adequately, you will receive permission to enter the library to study the word of Innos.
Do you have an assignment for me?
Yes, there is indeed something you can do for the community. The novices' chambers could do with a good sweeping. Take care of that.
But that will take forever.
Then you'd better start right away, hadn't you?
Sweeping the chambers.
About the novices' chambers.
Indisputably. It is not a simple task, but with the help of Innos, you will manage.
Ha! I almost feel like he's being condescending.
Can I have access to the library?
First, fulfill your duties in service to the community. When you've done working, we shall speak about this again.
So they make it seem like there is a lot of conditions to getting to study in the monastery. In fact, we hear that a lot of these people have not, a lot of these other novices actually have not had the opportunity to get in there, which is kind of shocking because we can basically get it all done in an afternoon, but it seems like a lot of these guys are kind of stuck in their tasks, whereas once again we're allowed a lot of freedom to roam, and everyone just kind of gives us an afternoon's worth of work and says, all right, yeah, you're good, just go fuck off somewhere else. So I think we'll just to get familiar with the place, we'll probably take this episode just to go around and have a chat.
What do you want?
I'm new here.
So I see. If you still don't have any work, talk to Parlin. He'll assign you some.
What are you planting here?
We're trying to grow healing plants that Master Neoras can use to brew potions.
So that's that. We actually, I'm not sure when we learned it, but Aegon, he sounds very stuck up and very full of himself, and we actually learned why. Basically, he is, I think, the nephew of the governor, Larius, who we have not met yet because we cannot get in the governor's house. Anyway, so this is our bedchamber. We're never really told which bed is ours, but I always presume that this one right here was. That this is our chest. None of the other chests contain anything, so it's... Oh, that's a lie. Holy shit. I've never actually... I don't usually make a habit of opening these. Okay, so these two are empty. I guess we're allowed to take either one of these. But no matter. Pretty much as long as the bed is unoccupied, we're allowed to use it. So, we have a task to sweep the chambers. I guess let's get started.
Sweeping all the chambers will take forever.
Forever is too long.
Sweeping all the chambers will take forever.
So that's supposed to be your clue that you're not actually supposed to be the... Man, I'm getting tongue-tied today. You're not actually supposed to be the one sweeping the chambers. Maybe we can enlist some help. Why don't we ask this sweepist over here?
Hello. You're also new here, aren't you?
Yes. How long have you been here?
I've been here for 4 weeks. Have you already been given a fighting staff?
Not so far.
Then take this one. We novices all carry a staff as a sign of our ability to defend ourselves. Can you fight?
Well, I've wielded a weapon or two.
If you want, I can teach you something. However, I have a request.
What request would that be?
Well, one of the paladins, Sergio, is in the monastery at the moment. If you can persuade him to go through a few exercises with me, then I'll train you.
I shall see what can be done. I'm supposed to sweep the novices' chambers.
You've saddled yourself with a lot of work there. You know what? I'll help you. You'll never finish that alone. But I really need a Fist of Wind spell scroll. You know, I got lucky and was allowed to read a book about it. And now, naturally, I want to try the spell. So get me this spell scroll and I'll help you.
How's life here in the monastery?
I don't mean to complain, but I never thought that it would be so strict here. If you don't stick to the rules, they punish you. Of course, a lot of novices want to study the teaching of Innos in the library, so they can be prepared if they're chosen. But I think the best preparation for the test of magic is fulfilling our own tasks.
What's the deal with the Chosen and that test?
Talk to Brother Igaraz. He knows a lot about that.
Oh yes, I'm sure sweeping the chambers is just as fulfilling to your magical education. Oh, goodness me. So, unfortunately, he's willing to help us, but he's going to take advantage of our plight a little bit to try and get something out of us.
Hey, you!
What do you want?
What do you want?
What are you doing here?
I have transgressed against the precepts of the community. Now I'm waiting for the decision of the High Council, whether I may remain in the monastery.
I always act in the name of Innos.
Is there any way I can help you?
No. I've been delivered up to the mercy of Innos and the magicians.
I always act in the name of Innos.
Tell me what happened.
I took a book from the rooms of the magicians while I was sweeping, so I could read it later. Master Highglass noticed it immediately, of course, and asked me about the book. Out of fear of being punished, I lied about it. But he caught me later when I was in my chamber with the book. He was really angry and informed the High Council.
Do you really think?
Now they are discussing whether I can stay.
Well, you screwed up. We have to take a look at this fighting pike that we got. So, kind of funnily, it requires 15 strength, so you actually do have to invest in strength, or at least have something to boost it in order to wield it. So even though you're just a scrawny little novice, you're apparently expected to defend yourself with a sort of above-average weapon. Or maybe not above average, but you know what I mean.
Hello.
Hello.
You must be the new guy. I'm Opolis. I take care of the sheep around here.
Yeah, I imagine you do.
How long have you been in the monastery?
I've been here 3 years, but so far I haven't studied, although I'd like to.
Why not?
My job is looking after the sheep, not studying the scriptures. As long as Master Parlin doesn't release me from this duty, I'm not allowed to study in the library.
That is absurd. So this guy gets stuck watching sheep for 3 years, whereas everyone else can kind of come and go just as a result of just doing the more mundane remedial tasks.
That's totally obvious.
How shall I act here in the monastery?
Never lie to a magician. Don't transgress against a brother of the community. Respect the property of the community. If you violate these rules, you have to pay a penalty to Master Parlin. Apart from that, I can only advise you to be careful around Aegon. If you don't watch out, you'll end up like Babo.
I've got no time for things like that.
Who are Aegon and Babo?
Aegon takes care of the herb garden. He's also a novice, but he acts like he was the chosen one himself. Babo came to the monastery shortly before you. At first he helped Aegon in the herb garden, but they must have had a fight, and Babo has been sweeping the courtyard ever since.
Do you know what happened?
Not exactly. You'll have to ask them. But Aegon's word has more weight than that of the other novices because he's the governor's nephew.
So that's where we learn that.
About the library.
That's the locked room to the left, next to the gate. But you'll only get the key when Master Parlin decides that you may study the teachings.
Well, part of it makes me wonder if Master Parlin is just kind of doing a secret judgment of character to decide whether you're worthy or trustworthy around the sacred books in there, I guess.
Hey!
What can I do for you, brother?
Why aren't you working?
I am permitted to study the teachings of Innos. I seek wisdom in his words. One day, he will choose me. And then, I shall take the test of magic and enter the circle of fire.
Seem very confident in that.
Who are the chosen?
The novices whom Innos has ordained to take the test of magic. He who passes it is accepted into the ranks of the magicians of fire.
How can I be chosen?
You have no influence on that. Innos alone chooses his novices, and the High Council announces his will.
What is the test of magic?
A test which is announced by the High Council to all chosen novices. It is an assignment in which faith and cleverness are put to the test. All the chosen novices take part, but it is only possible for one of them to complete it successfully.
Oh, sounds like they're really handicapping themselves. I think a mage is more valuable than a novice, but what do I know?
How can I study the scriptures?
You must gain access to the library. However, Master Parlin will only give you the key if you have first finished your duties.
Well, guess we better get on that. So, all the nameless novices just have the generic topics, so if you want to go through any of those, just to hear some flavor text. But some of the nameless novices also have... you can ask them to try and help you out sweeping the chambers.
I need help sweeping the novices' chambers.
Sure, I'll help. We novices have to stick together. One hand washes the other. I just need 50 gold pieces because I still have to pay Parlan.
50 gold pieces? I thought he charged 1,000. Is that really all you had left?
All right, I'll pay.
Good. Then I'll get started.
It's funny how a lot of them are allowed... It seems like a lot of novices are allowed into the monastery before they've paid their tribute. And I always question that because we're not allowed to get in before we've paid. And once they're in here, they're not really earning money anymore, so where the hell are they going to come up with a difference?
What happened between you and Babo?
You shouldn't believe everything you hear. Let's get something straight. I shall go my own way, the way that Innos foreordained for me. I won't allow anyone to stand in my way, and certainly not that simpleton Babo.
Shouldn't we novices stick together?
The rest of you can stick together as much as you like, but please, don't waste my time, and no one should get in my way.
Oh boy. I can tell we're gonna have a lot of fun with him someday.
What happened between you and Aegon?
Oh, we had a disagreement about how to take care of fire nettles. Aegon had watered them so much that the plants almost had root rot already. Once the roots were completely rotten, he blamed me for it. They've made me sweep the courtyard all day ever since.
Why did Aegon do that?
You'll have to ask him that. I think he just can't stand it when someone is better than he is.
You seem to know a thing or two about plants.
We had an herb garden where I learned a few tricks from my grandpa. I'd really prefer to work in the garden again.
Well, unfortunately, we don't all get what we want. So, we've talked to just about everyone out here. We can try and talk to the novices who are a little preoccupied right now, but they're not going to help us. They already have their tasks.
I need help sweeping the novices' chambers.
Hey, I'd do it, but I'm really busy.
Then there's the two guys mashing grapes in here. Not mashing weed, as the animation suggests from the first game.
Wait a minute. I need help sweeping the novices' chambers.
Forget it. I don't have time for that. Look for somebody else to help you.
Oh, man. Yeah, so much for sticking together, I guess. It's kind of hilarious. We took away Igoraz's companion that he was talking with. Doesn't he have more to say to us? Oh, yeah.
Is there anything you can teach me?
Sure. I used to beat up people. I can show you how to strengthen your arms. But I'd like to learn something about potions, especially about magic potions.
How can I help you with that?
Well, if you work for Neoras, you'll certainly have an opportunity to borrow one of his recipes for a short time. If you bring it to me so that I can take a look at it, I'll train you.
Are you suggesting I steal? That violates the tenets of Innos. Can I interrupt your prayers to help me sweep?
I need help sweeping the novices' chambers.
Oh dear. You just got here and you let them make you do the sweeping already? Console yourself. It was exactly the same with me when I first got here, and that's why I'm going to help you. It would be ridiculous if we couldn't handle it.
What a swell guy. Wish we could make friends with him.
Hey! I need help sweeping the novices' chambers.
Hey, I'd do it.
Oh, sure you would. So, we're actually allowed to approach the High Council. You wouldn't think so, but we're allowed to approach the High Council and have a casual chat with them, even as a lowly novice.
So you're the new novice. Well, I assume you have already been given a task by Master Parlin. You know that everyone within the community of fire must carry out his duty according to the will of Innos.
So, keep your ears open here. See if you can tell where something went a little bit wrong.
Some citizens of Khorinis have mysteriously disappeared.
Take your tribute to Gorax at the monastery at once. He will handle it further.
The same is true for the investigation of the unusual earthquakes in the northeastern regions of Khorinis. So far, I have not received notice that our intervention would be required. Therefore, we are not going to take any steps in this matter.
Yes, but...
No buts. We shall proceed as we see fit, and I hope even you are going to respect that.
What do you mean, even me? So this is one of the things we'll learn about the mages here. They have a tendency of noticing problems and doing nothing about them.
I'm looking for the Eye of Innos.
Anyone who thinks he could not only find the sacred amulet, but wear it as well, is a fool. The amulet itself chooses its bearer. No one save the one who is destined for it will be able to wear it.
I'd be willing to give it a try.
The duty of a novice is to show humility, not desire.
I must talk to the paladins. It's urgent.
And are you going to tell us why you want to talk to them?
I've got an important message for them.
What message would that be?
An army of evil is assembling in the Valley of Mines, led by the dragons. We must stop them as long as we still can.
We shall ponder on your words, novice. When the time has come, we shall let you know what our council decided. In the meantime, you had better see to your duties as a novice. Well, we don't want to keep you from your work any longer. You can go now.
Something tells me that's his way of blowing us off, but at least he isn't basically calling us an idiot, the way some paladins in Corinus named Lothar might have.
Look, the new novice appears before the High Council. Innos be with you, son.
What exactly is the task of the High Council?
It is our duty to proclaim the will of Innos. Thus, we name the chosen novices who will be put to the test of magic. Even though we lead a retired life, we turn our gaze upon the events of the world, for the Church of Innos represents the highest earthly law.
Ah, so you're interested in what's going on in the world. So what do you think of those dragons squatting in the Valley of Mines, with their army growing every day?
I understand that you are angry, but we must first weigh your words before we take any steps. If we allow ourselves to be carried away and act rashly now, we will achieve nothing. Therefore, fulfill your tasks, and we shall discuss what is to be done.
Tell me about the test of magic.
It is the chance for the chosen novices to enter the Guild of Magicians, but only one can pass the test, and Innos alone chooses the novices for it.
When's the test going to take place?
As soon as we have heard the will of Innos, we inform the chosen novices and put them to the test.
Well then, hopefully the gaze of Innos falls upon us, even though we will only be here for a very short time.
You dare to address me, novice? Return to your work.
I've got one more question.
You do not seem to want to understand. I decide when I see fit to talk to you. Who do you think you are? And now, get back to work.
So we see three very distinct personalities here. Pretty much the standard tropes of the super arrogant one, the super benevolent one, and the kind of aloof but wizened one. So none of them are really helpful to us, and none of this dialogue that we get as a novice is available to any of the other factions, because none of them are able to enter the monastery until Chapter 3. It is strange. I guess it's not strange. I was about to say something stupid, but I remember that you cannot actually become a paladin before Chapter 3, so that's why you can't get in here. Anyway, let's take a look down below.
I need help sweeping the novices' chambers.
Am I the only one helping you?
No, I've already got some help.
Then I'm in.
Well, isn't that nice? So, he will only help you if you have somebody else. So it's kind of funny to me that we now have 3 people to sweep 4 chambers. We could sweep the last one on our own, but that's still not an option. We pretty much have to find 4 people to do our job for us. And that is actually able to complete it to Parland's satisfaction, believe it or not. But the last person who will help us is Babo, and he demands something for his efforts. Something that we cannot easily obtain.
Hey, you!
What? What's wrong? Why are you bothering me? Can't you see I'm in the middle of an extremely complicated experiment?
I didn't mean to disturb you.
You already have. Well, what do you want?
Can I learn from you?
I do not instruct novices. If someday you are accepted into the Circle of Fire, then I can show you how to create powerful potions.
Oh ho.
Could you brew me a potion?
For a novice, you are certainly impertinent. Go about your duties. You can buy everything you need from Gorax.
Have you got work for me?
Yes, I need plants for my experiments. We raise plants ourselves, but we're all out of fire nettles. 7 blossoms should do. Bring me those. Oh, something else. I'm missing a recipe for creating magic potions. If you find it, I would be very grateful.
So we can give him the fire nettles now, but I'm going to hold off on that to make a point later. And it's funny to me that he requires a recipe to make magic potions. I'm pretty sure the one we find is the most basic recipe. Something that a mage who specializes in potions should probably have pretty well memorized by now. This looks important.
You are not permitted to go further. Turn back. Innos will turn his wrath upon you if you do not turn back.
That's something you got to watch out for. You will notice that as I approached, the hero kept moving forward after the guy initiated dialogue, and so that's why he threatened me a second time. So that's an annoying bug that can get you into trouble sometimes.
Innos be with you. I've never seen you before. You are new around here.
Yes, I only just joined.
In that case, I hope you get settled here fast. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
What room is this?
This is where they keep the holy relics of the monastery.
What relics?
Here rests the Hammer of Innos, along with the Shield of Fire. These are the most important relics of Church of Innos, outside the capital of the realm.
Yeah, I'm interested to know what the holy relics of the capital were, considering we never get to see them in Gothic 3.
Is the Eye of Innos kept here too?
Of course not. What a strange idea. Nobody knows where that divine artifact is to be found.
Well, I guess this isn't all the most important artifacts then.
What are you doing here?
I am the guardian of the sacred artifacts.
Wow. Who made you so important? Why wouldn't they have a paladin or somebody down here for that?
Don't you ever sleep?
What an unusual notion. Of course I don't ever sleep. Innos himself grants me the power which allows me to forego sleep altogether. For how else could I fulfill the sacred duties of guardianship?
By having a second shift, maybe?
Do you really never sleep?
No. If a guardian falls asleep, he has failed. But I shall not fail, for Innos gives me the strength and endurance, and I shall never tire.
Again, if somebody is so important to be made a guardian of sacred relics, would he, A, not only have backup, B, would he not be armed and armored as a guardian truly should be? Doesn't seem like they actually really need you that badly. It seems like they maybe you're just an insomniac and they keep you holed up down here because you pissed them off when they're trying to sleep.
Tell me about the shield.
The Shield of Fire was born by Dominique in the battle on the Southern Isles. But the power of the shield is never to be wielded again. Therefore, we have nailed it to the wall.
Well, that's a ridiculous idea. I mean, what if someday you need a shield like that? Also, it is gargantuan, so that dude must have been a giant.
Tell me about the hammer.
This is the sacred hammer of Innos. With this hammer, Saint Robar slew the stone sentinel. The Holy Scriptures say that the stone sentinel was invulnerable. He stood in battle like a tower, and the weapons of his enemies were smashed on his skin of stone. With the name of Innos on his lips, Robar hurled himself at the monster and crushed it with one mighty blow of his hammer.
Fascinating story. You'll notice we can keep asking him about that story, and the sacred hammer is actually right here, within reach, whereas the shield, of course, cannot be touched. Whatever you do, do not try to take it while he's looking. But something will come of that later, as we will see. Okay, so we've gotten 3 novices to sweep the chambers. We need the 4th. We need a Fist of Wind scroll for the 4th one. I believe we can buy one from Gorax, but there is another way to get one. That is what I shall demonstrate. But not today. I thought maybe we could get through all of the tasks in one episode, but I think that's just going to make the episode too damn long. So, we'll get around to that next time. We've actually still got one more magician to speak at.
What's your job here?
I prepare the paladins for their fight against evil.
What is evil?
Evil is everywhere. It is the power of Beliar, the eternal adversary of Innos. It is the all-encompassing blackness which seems to blot out the light of Innos forever. Beliar is the lord of darkness, of hate, and of destruction. Only those among us in whose hearts burns the holy fire of Innos will bear the radiant light of Innos into the world and banish the darkness.
So, I love how a lot of these stories that they tell to the common masses, well, not really to the common masses, but it seems like the further you get into the lore of Innos and Beliar, the more it almost seems to retcon itself, because the first game didn't really seem to discuss much of a conflict between Innos and Beliar. In fact, they refer to sort of the underworld of sorts, where your soul goes after you die, as the realm of Beliar. And just seemed to suggest that he is the god of like the night sky and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden in this game, Beliar's been turned into a god of evilness and of dark intentions, and he pretty much has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. And yet, Adenos apparently stands between the brothers to make sure neither of them win, even though, if you would hear it told from the mouth of Innos worshippers, Beliar really stands to be wiped from the face of the universe, I guess.
But there are only magicians and novices living in the monastery.
That is correct, in contrast to our community which honors the word of Innos. The paladins honor the great deeds of our Lord above all else. We are the representatives of Innos, but the paladins are his warriors, who go into battle in his name and increase his glory.
Is there anything you can teach me?
I am an expert in the magic of ice and the magic of thunder. I can teach you their power. However, I only instruct magicians.
Oh, everyone is so discriminatory.
Is there anything I can do for you, Master?
For me? No. I do not require your help. Pray rather for the well-being of the warriors of Innos, who have gone to the Valley of Mines.
Oh, so there are paladins there. I think that's actually the first we hear of it. But we will learn more about that once we fulfill our duties here and are able to talk to Lord Hagen himself. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that'll do it for today. I know we didn't get through a whole lot. It was a lot of chit-chat, but we'll get things done next time. We shan't be a novice for long. I get the feeling that Innos has bigger things in mind for us. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, one announcement I actually meant to make at the beginning of the episode, and I'll now have to do it in a subtitle because I'm an idiot. I have actually made a Discord channel, or a server, for the channel, for this and the Twitch channel. So the point of that is not just a community for all of us to like hang out and chat on, since YouTube comments and Twitch chat are not really conducive for that in most cases. It's something you can just check in every now and then and have a casual conversation. There's sort of a general channel, off topic. And then there's a channel each for anything related to the Morganon YouTube channel and the Twitch channel. There are also two threads that I will keep up to date on announcements for YouTube videos and Twitch streams. Basically, the kind of thing I was using my Twitter account for, but nobody seems to follow me on Twitter. So this might be a little more conducive, since Discord seems to be the hot app these days. So, if you like, follow me on... I am having a day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very kindly for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch or subscribe to my stream archive channel. Links in the description below, as well as the link to the Discord server. And, if you are interested, you can follow me on Twitter as well. So there are going to be a lot of goddamn links in the description. And until next time, have yourselves a wonderful night.